I think something really bad just happened with AI. And if you've been following it, I need your help because this is super effed up. Quick speed run if you've not been paying attention. OpenAI, the company that makes ChatGPT, Sam Altman, out of the blue fired last week. There's a ton of drama here about the board and who voted to fire him and who's out. I'm not gonna go into a ton of depth about it. He was fired for a few days. Microsoft offered to take him. Then almost 100% of the engineers that work at OpenAI threatened to quit if they didn't bring Sam back and fire the whole board. The coup got reverse coup and Sam got brought back. Whatever. What I want to talk about is the new board of directors and how it is a huge red flag for all of humanity right now that they chose this guy and this guy. And this is the only dude from the old board that stayed on. All of this at a very important time in the evolution of AI, which we are about to cover right now. So there's been rumors in the space for a while, like this one from March. I've been told that GPT-5 is scheduled to complete training this December, meaning like right now. And that OpenAI expects it to achieve AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. AGI is very controversial. It might be the end of the human race, or it might be the dawn of a new golden era where AI solves all of our problems. We're not totally sure. It really might be that drastic. But then the plot thickened when just recently, rumors started to circulate and have since mostly been confirmed about OpenAI's secret Q-Star program. And everyone has been trying to figure out why the hell did they fire Sam Altman? The board was super tight-lipped about it. There was really no reason given. The dude was loved by everyone, seeing as the whole company threatened to resign if they didn't bring him back. But just recently, he made this statement at a conference about how just recently, in the last couple of weeks, he was in the room when they sort of pushed the veil of ignorance back and the frontier of discovery forward. He saw some major breakthrough in AI recently. Quick conspiracy theory side quest. Sam Altman recently started attending the Bilderberg group last year. You know, top secret meetings where all the most powerful people get together secretly. This year, AI was the top of their agenda. He also attended last year. I'm just gonna let you read this. But anyways, back on topic. AI might have just taken a great leap forward. And this guy might have been privy to it or watched it happen or been in some way involved, and we're not sure. One thing we do know is that Elon has been stressed about this. He's been all over Twitter trying to figure out what's going on. Not sure if that's because he's trying to compete with them from a business perspective, or if he's worried that AI might destroy the human race in the coming weeks. Maybe a bit of both. But anyways, here's where the story gets interesting. These two women down here are both effective altruists. That ringing any bells for any of y'all? Anyone remember this shitbag? But it gets confusing because this guy was a piece of shit. And so you think two effective altruists on this board, they must be shitty too. But as far as I can tell, they were the voice of pump the brakes, slow down, caution on the AI, let's be careful, let's think about the ethics of this. It sounds like they were super, super concerned with the ethics and safety of AI. And that Sam was actually trying to push this for business and business and business. I mean, I am far from an expert on this. But at first, it seems like the internet's reaction was, Sam is our guy and we love him, and these horrible people just double-crossed him, fuck them. The company did its thing, they brought Sam back, they got these guys fired because everyone threatened to walk. And at first, it seemed like these were the bad people and the good guys had won. But then the new board they appointed happened. And let's quickly get this guy out of the way because it's the next guy that really matters. This guy's the former CTO of Facebook, so he's already a piece of shit. But then he was the chairman of Twitter from 2016 until Elon Musk bought it. And what that means is that he was the chairman of the board of Twitter while Twitter was being used basically as an FBI government front for FBI and CIA disinformation campaigns all up to the 2020 election and through it. And to be clear, internet, I'm not claiming that it was stolen. I'm not spreading misinformation. I'm just saying that this is a source from the US House Oversight Committee where they explain that during that time, Twitter was working with the US government in ways that are not entirely kosher. Capiche? Doing things like deleting a bunch of stories about Hunter Biden's laptop, though admitting in testimony in court that they didn't actually speak to anyone related to it to confirm its authenticity or whether it was real or not. They also censored doctors from Stanford and Harvard for sharing their understanding of this thing despite them just being interns at Twitter. Again, I don't give a shit what your politics on these last two issues are. I'm just saying that the dude was in charge of Twitter while Twitter was a censorship machine. Homie is 100% a part of big tech, big money. And speaking of big money, the other person they named to their now 3-person board of directors is Larry Summers. And I don't know if I could come up with a more evil and corrupt human being than Larry Summers. There is no one in the world that would be a more concerning person to be in charge of the future of artificial intelligence than Larry Summers. This guy was instrumental in repealing Glass-Steagall, which basically let banks have their way with the world. Led directly to the 2008 financial collapse. He was instrumental in deregulating financial institutions, which he profited off of directly. These are all just from his Wikipedia article. Don't need to dig very deep. He earned $2.7 million in speaking fees from major financial institutions following his role in this great 2008 collapse, including Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Citigroup, Merrill Lynch, Lehman Brothers. I mean, they gotta say thanks, bro. He had very deep ties to that guy, who I won't read out loud. Like, he was super homies. And in 2013, they couldn't decide whether to make him the chairman of the US Federal Reserve, the one that creates all US currency and rules the world, or if he should become the governor of the Bank of Israel. Literally, he was up for both of those positions at once. He was explicitly recommended by this guy. Not a conflict of interest at all. Oh, but Ian, just because he works in finance and is a really well-paid guy doesn't mean he's evil. There are infinite examples of Larry Summers being evil, but I'll just share one. Back in 1991, he was the head of the World Bank. He sent out this memo that December 12th, 1991. Just between you and me, shouldn't the World Bank be encouraging more migration of the dirty industries to the LDCs, least developed countries? I can think of 3 reasons. Reason number 1, I think the economic logic behind dumping a load of toxic waste in the lowest wage country is impeccable, and we should face up to that. They later were like, oh, it was meant to be sarcastic. It was just a joke. Yeah, just a joke, buddy. That became the economic policy of the countries that you guys ran. Oh my God, and this guy is in charge of the future of... listen, it's not about him being on the board right now. The fact of the matter is that they are transitioning into a new phase for this company, OpenAI, and they're probably gonna go public soon and become a giant corporation. And the people on the board right now are gonna choose who goes on the board long term. This is just an interim board, but what we have just done is we have elected this guy and this guy to choose who's in charge of OpenAI as we break through the veil of AI. And I genuinely don't think that anyone is realizing how fucked up of a deal that is. Think about the powers that this guy represents and works for. Think about what team he's on. Holy shit, I literally didn't even have time to talk about Sam is in charge of this crypto company. It wants to scan everybody's irises for their cryptocurrency project. But it'll totally be private, don't worry.